If you like boba tea, Peking duck, or any number of tasty treats, you can thank Julia Child because she's the one who let big business know that Americans were hungry for more. I recently visited Julia Child, A Recipe for Life, at the Minnesota Historical Society. It quickly dives into her time at the OSS, which was a forerunner of the CIA. Sadly, she was not a spy, but she did meet Paul Child, her husband, and the love of her life. This is one of the Valentine's Day cards that the couple sent out annually, and now visitors can join them. Of course, no exhibit on Julia Child would be complete without looking at her time in France and the food that changed her life. That leads us to the two things that changed the way America ate: her book, Mastering the Art of French Cooking, and her show, The French Chef. Visitors learn what America's food landscape was like before Julia was on television, including the invention of the TV dinner. While exploring the TV kitchen, visitors learn about all of the work that went into creating an episode of The French Chef, as well as the impact this one show had on television. For one thing, it showed that there was an audience for educational cooking shows. It showed that there was interest in international cuisine. Also, it caused WGBH, the public television station that produced The French Chef, to finally embrace color filming because Julia Child was tired of her food looking gray. One of the things exhibit designers had to do was get people excited about mastering the art of French cooking, and simply having a book on a table and letting people flip through it won't get the job done. So they made that book the size of a person and then projected pages onto it. The other challenge is that food was very important to Julia Child, and that is something that is best understood by tasting and smelling it. So they chose some of the most important meals in Julia Child's life, created fake versions so you could see what the meal looks like, a little label that tells you what some of the ingredients are, and then you lift the lid of these copper pots and then you can smell the meal for yourself. And of course, they all smell amazing, which leads to one of the downsides of this exhibit. You will get so incredibly hungry. And Cafe Minnesota isn't selling coq au vin, Peking duck, or any of the other tasty things you'll be smelling. So definitely eat beforehand. Also, this photo is way too important to be this small. Julia Child was an incredibly tall woman. So what's this got to do with Minnesota? Well, Julia Child changed the way America ate. MNHS used this as an opportunity to highlight Minnesota food stories, starting off with these Minnesota cookbooks that you see at the start and end of the exhibit, and the gems they pulled from their collection, including Slapshot Meals, a cookbook for hockey families, and a true Minnesota treasure, the first documented mention of hot dish. All in all, 8 out of 10 stars. Julia Child, A Recipe for Life closes Memorial Day.